For the sky, boy.
Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling is Trash, the nonsensical podcast where we talk everything professional wrestling, past, present, quite possibly the future. I am here alone today. After a long hiatus, the Trashboyz have kind of made a comeback. And your host for today, Nick Ganselli. We've been gone for a while. Reason being is life. We just have things coming up in life. But if we're keeping it real, for people who follow anything besides wrestling, Lou and I both love basketball. Unfortunately, his Knicks did not make it to the conference finals after grueling playoffs, making it all the way to Game 7. My Celtics are still in it. If one of our teams was playing every night, just everything going on with life, work, that basketball definitely did have a big impact. But we are kind of back today for a quick little episode of just things that are currently going on in the product with this weekend of wrestling. We have missed you all. We'll be making a comeback soon. We can promise you that. To be honest, probably the only real reason I did this one is because the old ball and chain, the old lady's not even here this weekend. She is at home. As everyone knows that we said on here, we're having our first child in August. She went home to celebrate with her family, having a little baby shower. So, much love to my favorite trash girl. Happy she's out there with the family. I'm just here at home with my dog, Biggie Smalls, who makes appearances from time to time. But yeah, I hope everyone's been good. In wrestling, to be honest, it's been awfully quiet. There hasn't been a crazy amount going on in the news in general. The shows have been good from what I have seen. Backlash, kind of want to give some love there. In Lyon, France, they had a show there, Backlash. Small little card, but man, did that crowd deliver. They delivered. It was awesome. That Jey Uso entrance was awesome. Love that. Cody and AJ had an amazing match. What else was on that card? Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton had a good triple threat match. Just everything on that show was good. Everything I watched, thoroughly enjoyed. Nothing crazy new with me, though. Just basketball, work, same old shit, getting ready to be a dad. News-wise, though, there ain't anything really crazy that's been going on. And if you can't tell, I'm kind of awkward. I really don't like talking to myself as it is, especially into a camera. It's a little different from me. I'm going to try to make this enjoyable for you all. Wrestling, man. The past month, we've had a lot, though, going on. It's been quiet, but a lot's going on at the same time. Drew McIntyre re-signed. Seth Rollins re-signed. We have the anticipated debut of Mercedes Moné tonight, actually, as we record this. Rumors of MJF coming back sooner than later with Forbidden Door, which is huge. That would be massive for them. Lou and I are both pretty big MJF fans. I think almost every wrestling fan is. So I think we're excited. Maybe we'll see him tonight. Who knows? Some great matches tonight where I'm going to dive into the card, give some predictions a little later. We'll see how I do. Nothing crazy. Just the draft happened. That was what it was. Not many crazy shakeups there. I'm not sure if we recorded about that. My brain's kind of shot when it comes to that. But it's been great. They did some cool stuff. They changed the stage setup. AEW's been delivering some good product as of late. Not that they haven't, but just as of late. They're going in. As we know with AEW, a lot of people like to shit on the ratings and all this other nonsense. But we always know when a pay-per-view comes, then boys and girls are going to deliver. And that's what we're looking forward to tonight. Seeing, for me, I'm excited to see Mercedes Moné debut. There's been rumblings if she's really been cleared all this time and they just didn't use her, or if this is when they just knew she was going to be cleared. To be honest, I don't buy into any of that. I really just don't care. I'm afraid to see it happen. Swerve Strickland becoming champion, man, that was awesome. We talked about that already. Love seeing that. I think having him with Christian's a good first feud, so I'm excited to see where that goes tonight. I got some notes here, if you don't mind. Just bear with me here for a second. We had the announcement. One announcement I kind of wanted to cover is we have the announcement of WrestleMania being in Vegas for WrestleMania 41. There was a back and forth debacle if it was going to be there, or the rumored plan has been for a while with Minneapolis, Minnesota. But I think after this year's WrestleMania press conference, I think the turnout they had and everything they had was so good, and the reception, especially with how well the Super Bowl did there, I think it made sense, especially with the rumors of Roman and Rock. Like, no disrespect to Minnesota. Never been there. I actually want to go. I actually really want to go, especially to US Bank Stadium. That stadium looks insane. I think that'll be a great host, which we're going to get to that in a second. But Roman Reigns and The Rock is an anticipated match for next year's WrestleMania. Vegas is the fight capital of the world, damn near. So how do you not have your, ironically, maybe the biggest match ever is it's going to be made up to be, everyone's going to have the different point of view, but it's going to be presented as the biggest WrestleMania main event of all time if that happens. So why not have it in Vegas? So I think that's really cool. But in 2026, Minneapolis, Minnesota is going to host something historical, nonetheless. The first ever two-night SummerSlam. I believe it's August 1st and 2nd. I don't remember dates off time, but they're going to have a two-night SummerSlam. I have different emotions about this. As a wrestling fan, I love it because I love wrestling, right? 2 nights of everything cool, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see what they do. Means a lot of people are going to be on the card. They're obviously going to make it. SummerSlam is presented as the number 2 show in WWE's eyes, so they're obviously trying to make it a bigger setting, but the storylines are going to have to be good. Because we saw last year, SummerSlam 2023, it wasn't a bad show, but there was nothing crazy there, especially at that time, that needed to have 2 nights of wrestling. One night was perfect, and to be honest, the Roman J match, yes, it was good. It was long as hell, tribal combat rules or bloodline rules and all this wild shit. But we'll have to see where it goes. But I'm really curious what you guys think of it. Yeah, I don't know. I really still haven't fully digested it. I know they talked about it. They hyped it up in Queen and King of the Ring yesterday. But as a lot of people thinking, if the states are getting a 2-night SummerSlam, are we potentially in for a 2-night Mania, maybe overseas somewhere, with a lot of people thinking Saudi Arabia. I haven't really digested that either, how I would take it if WrestleMania was there. I'm an early bird as far as I wake up early and I like to go to bed early. So, watching WrestleMania at 1 o'clock would be cool. On the East Coast, that would be. East Coast, that'd be cool. But at the same time, it'd be different because WrestleMania it's a night thing, right? It's a night thing. You want to watch that, have some people over. Now, living out in California, we get the Super Bowl at 3:30. Once again, it's nice because you're home from whatever event you're doing, wherever you watch the Super Bowl, if you go out for it at 8 o'clock, which is awesome, right? But at the same time, it's not like that night thing. But when you're in a stadium, I guess it's different. As long as they're not out. I think the stadium there is indoor. I'm not sure, to be honest. But it'd be weird. If anyone overseas is going to get one first, in my opinion, it should be like the UK, just because those fans have been passionate forever and everything they've done. I think they deserve it with Saudi. But at the end of the day, as we always say in the wrestling world, money talks. And that's probably what it's going to boil down to. At the end of the day, maybe just even with WrestleMania next year, maybe Vegas just bid more than Minnesota. Who the hell knows? I don't know if we'll ever know. But yeah, I'm curious how they do that, what they do. Obviously, you can have, women main event one night or in the men the other night, or both world titles on different nights. Who knows what they'll do. It's kind of like WrestleMania. I think they're going to go with whatever storyline's the hottest, just like a couple of years ago when you had Kevin Owens and Stone Cold main event. There was no title on the line. It's just the build for it was amazing. So that's what they went with. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it's cool, I guess. I'm gonna be opposed for it for now until I see what we're delivered. But we literally have 2+ years for that, which makes me think, why are they doing it so far in advance? And I really think it's because something else is coming overseas. I'm really curious though to see where 2025 is. As a New England guy, I'd love to see Gillette Stadium get one. Boston, for those who don't know, Gillette Stadium, like the Boston area, beautiful outside that time of year. We're supposed to have SummerSlam in 2020, and then the world shut down. So it'd be cool. Nice outdoor stadium, massive screens in there. Now you could probably do a lot with that. I think that'd be really cool. But still, once again, after what happened with WrestleMania this year, I know Nick Khan's very previous to where he does certain shows, especially if they're outdoors, but in August, it's pretty much nice everywhere. So we'll have to see. But now we're going to dive into what we're really here for. Like I said, for anyone who is still watching at this point, 11 minutes in, wow, thank you. I guess I don't suck that bad. Just going over the results from yesterday, my thoughts on the show and my thoughts on the show for tonight. So this isn't going to be one of those hour-long podcasts that Lou and I usually do. Just wanted to get out there, get some content for you guys. We're almost at 100 subscribers. For Lou and I, that's actually very, very cool. We're not out here thinking we're going to be the next, Sean Ross's and Dave Meltzer's breaking news and all this wild stuff. So for us, 100's cool, where other people are like, wow, that's literally nothing. So yesterday we had WWE King and Queen of the Ring from, I believe it was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah or Riyadh, one of them. So on the pre-show, we had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defend the women's tag team titles against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Everyone knew where this was going, especially with the fact that Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark just won, I believe it was this past week on Raw, a number one contenders match, which they might align with Sonya Deville, which I thought that was cool. That was awesome to see her back. So maybe they're just trying to enter in, maybe in like a manager role, which I think she would do well. I personally was a big fan when she did the general manager in 2022. I also think she's very talented as well. So whatever direction they go with her, I think is fine. We all knew what the result, like I said, what this was going to be. But Indy and Candice did not look bad at all. Bianca and Jade look even better now as a tag team. They both had the matching gear. As over there, pretty much for the most part, women cover their body, and you could literally see Bianca and like Jade's abs literally through their gear. So I think all of us men and women hope to be as jacked as them one day, but I know that'll never happen for me. Don't care. This match probably only happened because Jade and Bianca are both such stars that the fans over there are obviously big fans of them, just like they are everywhere in the world. So how do you leave them off the card, right? But a good match. I liked the ending, seeing Bianca and Jade do the double, the double team moves. That was different. I was expecting either, Jade or Bianca just to hit their finishers and call it 1, 2, 3. So I kind of liked seeing the teamwork there, seeing them, how they produce, how they win matches together. And I think they're only going to get better from there. I think Lou and I have both said this. If not, I know I've said it, but I believe we both did that. Definitely think Mania next year is going to be Bianca and Jade. I don't know how long they're going to have these women tag titles. Definitely a chance to elevate these titles and just defend them more and get them out there. They're the two to do it, right? They can show good face in and outside of the WWE. So that's really cool. But definitely think maybe around Rumble time frame, I think you'll start, or even maybe a little before, you'll see the tension amongst them. And then someone take the titles off them, which I'm curious who's going to be the ones to take the titles off them, because WWE obviously has to work on their women's tag division a little better. Zoe and Shayna are probably the only believable ones for right now. Lou actually just texted me as I'm speaking. But anyway, yeah. So they have the division. They have what they need. But who knows where they can go with it from there. And then, I'm really excited to see what they do and where they go from there. I think Lou's actually going to be joining us. Thank God. I need this. I'm going to have to edit some content. But yeah, so anyway, really, really cool to see that and go with it from there. Let's see if I can invite, and hopefully I don't ruin this as I record at the same time. So if you can just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and do what I can to get our boy in here, because boy, am I awkward with this. Is it that one? What one's his email? I don't know Lou's email. You would think I know this. We talk so dang much. But yeah, anyway, so Bianca and Jade, really good tag team. I like to see what they're doing and where they go from there. And honestly, I kind of like what they're doing with Indy and Kansas, making them heels, making them a little more believable, have people buying into them, and seeing what they do with them from there. I think we all know Candice LeRae can go. I believe it was in 2018 or 19. She had like an insane classic with the time Io Shirai, Io Sky now at one of the takeovers. And man, it was awesome. So we both know they have the in-ring work to do it. We just got to see where they go with it from there. And then okay, I'm sending Lou the link. But yeah, we can see what they can do from there. And then what we had opening the show, let me just pull up the card. Sorry, I'd like to go in match order. First match we had of the night. Actually, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is complete. Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is complete. Liv Morgan won the Women's World Championship from Becky Lynch. I thought that was awesome. I love Becky Lynch, but I love Liv Morgan. Everyone, I think, who's been watching the show for a while. I like her character work. It's just crazy in wrestling that sometimes when you give people a quote-unquote heel turn, like, yeah, I'm not saying Liv's this great, amazing heel by any means, but she just crazy sometimes when you give people a heel turn, just how much better their character is. If I was to ever ask, like, have an interview with a wrestler, I think that'd be something I'd ask them, is what being like, if being a heel is that much easier than being a face. Because I think, honestly, in life, we all have that deep down in us. So I think just being a prick is naturally easy. You can see Big Smalls in the background. But yeah, I think being a prick is just kind of naturally easy. And I think it's because we all want to be one sometimes at the same time. So I think it's a free excuse to kind of be an asshole. And I think she's doing really good with it so far. I mean, we'll see with where she goes. I'm happy to see she's champion. Dominic interfering at the end of the match, not necessarily helping, but we think it could be also him helping Liv. So what happened, for those of you who maybe didn't watch, is Dominic was interviewed. I believe it was on the pre-show yet, because this is the first match. On the pre-show, pretty much saying he came to Saudi Arabia to do whatever he could to make sure Liv did not walk out with that title. You know, because she's the one who took it off of Mommy, essentially. And came out to the ring. Becky was kind of I believe was on the attack at the moment. Liv was down. Threw a chair in the ring to Becky to try to help her and then distract the ref. And Becky, being the face, was like, no. And Liv used that to her advantage. Hit her with, I believe, a DDT on it, and then hit the Oblivion, threw the chair out of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Becky, for those who are wondering, her contract's apparently up this week or next week. So a lot of people, I don't think Becky Lynch is going anywhere due to the fact her husband just re-signed. But from there, yeah, she won. And then backstage later on in the night, Becky was seen chewing out Dominic Mysterio, pretty much blaming him for everything, and was going to find Adam Pearce because she wants a rematch this Monday on Raw. So literally tomorrow she wants a rematch. So we'll see with what happens from there. But I still think Liv wins. I think we're gonna eventually see. They've shown the teases of Dominic and Finn, like in the cameras behind the scene when people are walking into the arena and stuff like that. Going with it from there. And everyone, thank God this podcast is not awkward anymore. Because boy, Lou, am I so happy to see you. Even Biggie's happy to see you. My boy,
Biggie.
Yeah. Look at him. He's like,
"What's up, Biggie? How you doing, buddy?"
He's like,
I was
"What's
saying
up?"
to the dog first.
Yeah.
He's staring right at me. What you staring at, bro? You got a problem?
You got a
What's
problem?
up? You want to fight?
What up? You good? But no, so as I was awkwardly talking probably the last 5 minutes, pretty much I told everyone we've been gone because of life and mostly playoff basketball.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know, it's unfortunate your Knicks didn't make it. Celtics are on a roll.
I just got here, bro. You already.
Hey, I wanted that.
Damn.
But I'm gonna let you. Yeah, what's up with you though? Let everyone know what's up. Where you been?
Well, it's good to be back. It's nice to be able to do this for all of you guys here. Your boy Lou has been on a little bit of a existential journey. There's a lot of different things going on, good things, of course. But yeah, between playoff basketball and life changes and work and summertime, like we just haven't been able to do a show, much less watch wrestling. I've actually taken some kind of a wrestling break, and I finally broke it last night when I watched. Well, I don't want to say I watched it, but I had what do you call it? I don't even remember the name of the shows anymore. I had Collision on while I was doing some other things, and I actually made it through the whole show. I started King of the Ring, and then I was like, it was like 7:58. And I was like, you know what? I'll watch King of the Ring tomorrow. Let me put on Collision because it's on live, whatever. So I ended up watching Collision, and I was a little bored. I'll be honest with you. I was a little bored with the show. There was a couple things on the show that were good, but I was a little bored, and I found myself in a weird place where I was kind of like picking apart and focusing on the things that I didn't like instead of the things that I actually like. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why it's going on with me with wrestling right now, but I felt like the break was well deserved and needed, because I think it was overload, bro. It's New Japan and ECW. ECW, what am I talking about? There's New Japan, and there's old shit that you could watch like ECW on YouTube, and WWE and AEW and XPW, and fucking just there's so many things to watch that I think I kind of like broke my brain a little bit. So
Yeah,
we took a little break,
Yeah, I think what it was, dude, I was thinking about this earlier, was from January to Dynasty, you had Wrestle Kingdom, then we had a few AEW shows, the Road to WrestleMania, Mania, Dynasty. Yeah, like I said, I think we were just kind of burnt out. Like I was saying, I've heard both. Like I'll just keep it a buck. I've had Raw on like in the background on Mondays and stuff. Same, like I've always kind of had it on just in background music, if anything, or sound. But I couldn't tell you, like Dynamite this week was the first time, and SmackDown on Friday was the first time I like sat down and had my undivided attention. But it seems like from online, from everybody, like neither product has been like bad. I just think both were on such a roll that eventually roles come to an end, and both came at the same time.
Yeah. And again, we like to keep it positive on this show. I don't like to focus on the negative things about wrestling, but I'll be honest with you, just from like outside looking in. And of course, we still do our due diligence. We keep up. We know what's going on. After Monday, I make sure I didn't miss any title changes or anything crazy happen. We know what's going on. We just didn't spend the time watching the full show. But, it's just like this bloodline thing with Solo and Tama Tonga. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care about Solo being in charge and having Tama Tonga there. I don't care. I'm not invested in it at all. I miss Roman Reigns.
Yes.
I'll be straight up.
Yes.
And Paul Heyman's doing his thing. He's doing a tremendous job of being conflicted and not knowing what to do and all that. But I don't care. I really don't care. AEW, the Young Bucks thing, I think it's cool, but we've seen that angle played out in different promotions a million times. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that though. Like, they are the EVPs, and they're actually the EVPs in real life. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing this, but it's not really holding my attention. As much as I love Swerve being champion, I'm like a little confused at why he's not I don't feel like he's being showcased enough. Maybe I'm wrong in that, because I haven't really been watching like that.
I'm with you on that.
Even this tonight show, there's a fucking pay-per-view tonight, and I don't really know much about all the matches, but like they're saying it's a triple main event. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, the world title's the fucking main event. Don't give me that bullshit. Like, if it was the men's and women's titles co-main eventing, okay, I'm cool with that. But even the Stampede show now, that's the triple main. No, bro, this is not a triple main event. Swerve is the champion.
They're doing what we were shitting on WWE for last year when they were doing that shit.
Yeah.
Too. No, to be honest, the only thing actively in wrestling that I'm excited to constantly keep up with, it's two people, but Drew McIntyre is really the thing I love seeing every week. And it's crazy. He's not wrestling. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions of things I covered right after this, and then then I dove into King and Queen of the Ring. But they announced it in Scotland. Triple H announced it during the show yesterday. It's going to be Drew and Damien at Clash at the Castle in Scotland. That's official. But the Drew CM Punk stuff has just been awesome. Drew re-signed. The Rock gifted him a sword. Punk's doing a good job as like the squirmish heel in this, even though Drew's a heel kind of at the same time too.
Right.
So I like that storyline, where it's going. And we'll go with it. But the main real news thing I'm trying to think I covered was the SummerSlam 2-night thing. What I alluded to, and was kind of what we alluded to texting, was so far in advance, 2 nights of SummerSlam. SummerSlam last year wasn't bad, but nothing crazy was going on where it needed to be 2 nights. And it makes me think that, like we were all saying, that they're definitely going overseas for WrestleMania in 2026. And I think the UK is what deserves it, but it's seeming like it's probably going to be Saudi. Like, I could be wrong, but that's what it seems. But I know that's what you were thinking because we were texting that. So I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on that and just overall thoughts on SummerSlam being 2 nights, just in general.
Yeah, it's so when I was growing up, for me there was the big 4. It was WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. Those were the shows that like every year the shit happened on those shows. And SummerSlam to me was always like, the 3rd one because and I could be wrong as far as timing, but I always loved Royal Rumble. Like Royal Rumble's like probably like my favorite thing in the world is watching the Royal Rumble. Even if it's not that great, like I just enjoy that whole process of the 30 men, sometimes 40, whoever wins is getting a title shot. Like that, I think that shit's dope. So I've always loved Royal Rumble, and it's always entertaining. They have debuts, they have people who you haven't seen in a long time, just Royal Rumble rules. But like SummerSlam the past few years hasn't. And I don't know if that's because WWE has so many freaking pay-per-views now. Like they're just so many. Like they don't even, bro, how many do they have that they don't even use anymore? Like Judgment Day and like In Your House. I know they used In Your House in NXT like a year or 2 ago.
Armageddon.
Or like what's the other one? Roadblock.
Yeah. The best one, Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire, yeah. Like they made so many up that it kind of like takes away from like the big ones, you know what I mean? So when I saw that SummerSlam was going 2 nights, I was just kind of like, number one, I saw that and I was immediately like, oh, okay, so Saudi's getting WrestleMania for sure that year, like for sure. They're gonna pay millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars for that show. And hey, look, get the bag, whatever. That's great. But I don't think that those crowds are not any better, but I don't think that those crowds would be better than like a UK crowd. Like if they did that shit in the UK, bro, the crowd would be insane. Or if they went back to France with WrestleMania, can you imagine all 5 hours of that crowd? Like that would be insane.
I talked about the France show in the beginning and just that Jey Uso entrance, and then just the show in general was good too. On top of it,
yeah, it was great. So, SummerSlam being 2 nights, I just kind of feel like that takes away from WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania is already the Super Bowl of wrestling. Like it's already special. When they made it 2 nights, at first I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but now I'm kind of like used to it. Now you got your weekend of WrestleMania, whatever, and you got your 2 shows, which is cool. But like making now, so then what's next? In a couple of years, Survivor Series will be fucking 2 hours too. Royal Rumble will be 2 nights, the men's and then 1 night, the women's the other night. Like
that's too
much. You don't
much.
need to do that for every show, bro. It's too much already. It's too much.
If anything, I could see doing a Rumble for 2 nights and SummerSlam 1 night. Like if you're going to give anyone an additional night, give it to the Rumble, I guess. But even then, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But the Rumble's the only one that makes sense. Women, men, like you said.
Yeah. And then like to have the Royal Rumble, like then you're gonna have your 1 night one Rumble each night. Then which one goes Sunday? Because you know that Sunday is considered like the main. You're gonna have all these logistic issues. So I don't know. I just think 2 hours. 2 hours. I think 2 days is just way too much. We don't need to be extending all the shows now to 2 nights. I get it. They're gonna make a shitload more money. They're basically making double the money because you're selling out 2 nights now, and you're doubling your profits. So I get it. I understand it, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, we're gonna tune in regardless.
Exactly.
We're gonna watch it. So we sit here complain about it is useless.
And then last quick question before I go back into Queen and King of the Ring. How do you honestly feel about potentially watching WrestleMania at like 1 p.m? Because that's what time it comes on the East Coast. Like, because you and I are both early birds. Like, we like to go to bed early, especially I know you wake up very early for work too. So it's like, How do you truly feel about watching WrestleMania at 1 p.m?
Yeah, for me, it's great because now Saturday and Sunday, it's on at 1 o'clock. It's over like at 5? Yeah. 5 p.m. maybe it'll be over, and then great. I got the rest of my night. I can prep myself, make my lunch for the next day, and I don't have to stay up till midnight watching freaking wrestling when I got to get up in the morning, like I'm probably gonna do tonight. Tonight, we're gonna be up till midnight, watching Double or Nothing, and then I got to get up at 4:20 in the morning. So for me, it's fantastic. I love it. Yeah,
I'm definitely not watching the Scrum tonight. I'll watch that tomorrow.
Yeah,
they just take too long to start at this point. But. All right, cool. So just to recap, did you get to watch? What did you watch in King of the Ring?
I watched the first 5 minutes.
Okay, so to spin you up,
I literally watched Bianca Belair come out, and then she was dancing, and then I was like, "Oh shit, it's 7:59. Let me watch Collision," and then I turned it off.
So Bianca and Jade, decent match against Indian Kansas, where you knew what was going to happen. As I
say, not a big fan of Jade being completely covered up head to toe. Not a fan.
Yeah, no, they looked good. Their abs were showing.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Their outfits were fantastic, but just not a fan.
So, like I said, I don't want to harp on it too much just because I did. But long story short, if you haven't noticed on Raw, I've seen Dominic's been seen talking to Liv backstage, and so is Finn. Like, when they interview wrestlers, you see shit in the background. That's been a thing. Well, Dominic went to Saudi, and he's told Liv face to face, like, I'm here to make sure you don't walk out of here with mommy's title. Well, Liv did, because Dominic slid a chair. They had a good match, Becky and Liv. So definitely not a bad match to watch, but slid a chair into Becky for Becky to use, and he distracted the ref, and Becky, of course, being a face, not about it. Liv hit a DDT or some sort of move on her, and then
the Oblivion.
And then she won. So it was cool seeing Liv win. Like, it's because she would have lost this whole revenge tour thing, would have been really pointless. And Dominic looked all upset, and then Becky was chewing out Dominic backstage, and I think we're getting a rematch on Monday. And like I said earlier, Becky's contract's supposed to end this week, but I think it's pretty obvious with Seth just re-signing that she's probably going to re-sign.
Really? People think she's really going to go? She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, a podcast I was watching was maybe they're going to kind of go that Punk angle in 2011 where her contract runs out and maybe she comes out like eventually when Rhea's back and they do a triple threat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they should do. She should, because she was supposed to go on a break, right? And then and they brought her back and put the title on her. So they should they should do that. Just be like, oh, her contract ran out. She's out of here. Maybe she does she goes into the ring and she does like one of those kayfabe, I'm out of here kind of speeches, like thank you, whatever, and just goes away for a while, spends time with her daughter, works out, does whatever she needs to do, and then she could come back like one of the big shows. She's not really needed right now. Like, they got a lot going on. She could take her break. Yeah, Becky, they have a lot of women they could use. And then after that, we have the triple threat. Sami Zayn got an incredible entrance, kind of like a hometown pop right over there, defending against Chad Gable. New heelish Gable. I don't know what you know on that. I can kind of spin you up if you're not too up to date. Yeah. And then Big Bronson Reed. So to spin you up on Chad Gable, obviously he's mad petty. He's mad petty and upset that Sammy's champion. He's like turning against Alpha Academy. Otis helped cheat on Monday when he's obviously a face. Helped cheat Gable in a one-on-one match against Sammy and beat him. But really good match. Sammy retains. Gable was pissed because Otis didn't help him.
But then Otis finally did help, and Sammy reversed it, and he clotheslined Gable. So I could see Otis and Maxine actually become really big baby faces when this thing explodes. Gable's good on Raw and in Saudi. They were doing the "You Suck" chants when he came out, like Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Yeah. So Gable's really getting over with the heel character, in my opinion. That was a good triple threat match. I'm going to say watch it all if you can, but definitely out of the 5 matches, this one. I'd say the main event's definitely the match to watch.
Yeah, I was looking at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to watch King of the Ring, and then I'll watch the other show tonight.
Yeah, if you go in match order, in my opinion, I would go main event, Randy Gunther, Sammy, Liv, and then the women's final, which the women's wasn't bad.
Yeah, I've been watching this show. I don't know if you ever heard of the show called Banshee.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it's so good, bro. There's only 4 seasons, but oh my God, this show's so good.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Homelander in The Boys, I don't know if you watch The Boys.
No, but I've heard of it, yeah.
Well, oh my God, you got to watch that too, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm stuck on Power right now.
Oh, okay. I've been wanting to actually watch that. I wanted to watch
very good show.
There's another one too, The Shy. I wanted to watch that. And then there's there's another, whatever, I got sidetracked. But I've been watching that shit. That's all I've been watching the past like 2-3 weeks. I'm on season 3 already, and it's like I don't want it to end. It's so good.
Then to sum up just the last 3 matches, because then we can move on to tonight, since you obviously didn't watch yesterday's show yet. So Nia won Queen of the Ring. Really cool finish, actually. Did you see the finish?
I did see that, and I feel like I watched most of the match from the clips that I saw.
Yeah.
Bro, Nia Valkyria, bro, she really had a great showing. Like, I'm very happy for her too. She had a really great showing against Nia.
She's been good on Raw. Like I think she has the potential to actually be something like on the.
That name sucks. Okay?
Yeah,
the name sucks.
There's Lyra's better. And
yeah, like Nia Valkyria. Where the fuck did they come up with that? But she's dope, and I really hope that she's. This is like a tell of big things to come for her, because she's fucking really awesome.
Yeah, I really
that finish was nuts.
Yes.
That did look like a botch, but like when you watch it back again, you realize that was the finish.
Well, speaking of botch, did you see how the King of the Ring match ended?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So Gunther and Randy, really good match. Like I was texting you, Randy got all red, like in his shoulder area from the chops. You could tell he was probably like, fuck. They actually had a really good match. But Gunther won on a roll-up, and Randy's arm was clearly up. But Triple H and them like addressed it. So I don't know if they planned this.
I think so. I remember, now that you say that, I did remember seeing something about they were showing pictures of like stills, and they were like, yo, Randy's shoulder's definitely up. I think that's a way to protect Randy in the loss. Like, and I think it's just gonna lead to another match, probably.
Maybe at Clash of the Castle, they have a rematch.
I don't know if Randy wants to take them chops again.
Nah. What I liked about it was when Gunther won, Triple H gave him the crown, but he never put it on to look all goofy. Like he just held it above his head and like held it. So if he's just gonna walk to the ring, because eventually they drop the king. Like I don't think Vince isn't there, so he's not gonna be called King Gunther. That won't be a thing.
Gunther.
I could see maybe for a month or so but I think he's just gonna hold the crown like to the ring, which that's fine. As long as he's not wearing that goofy motherfucker. But
with the cape and the scepter and all that shit.
Yeah, the only person who could ever pull that off is Booker T.
Booker T is the only one. Booker T is the only one who can be king of the ring and wear all that shit. He's the only one I think who can pull it off.
Yeah. But it was a good match. I kind of like the finish. The pinky, especially if they continue it. But dude, that main event was good. I know we say this every time the dude wrestles, and I know we're not crazy of his life outside of the ring. Man, Logan Paul can go. Did you see the camera, the drone camera view of the? Yeah,
I saw. I guess he spit out. Because I didn't know what I was watching at first. I think it was like I was falling asleep, and I guess he took a shot of Prime, spit it out.
Yeah.
And then they had a shot, but I didn't realize it was a drone. I just thought they were doing something weird with the camera. I was like, what is going on? It was kind of like panoramic, and then he jumped through the table. I was like, it looks like a fucking cool spot, but I didn't want to watch more because I wanted to actually see it on my TV. I was watching it on my phone.
He actually shared a tweet today of a screenshot. He didn't say with who, he deleted it. But the caption is, I've been dreaming of that shot for a year. The text was from May 10th of 2023.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to read the combo quick. And what he said to the person, hey, boss, wanted to run this idea by y'all as we approach our next 2, please. I pitched this for WrestleMania, but apparently had some venue issues. So I guess SoFi Stadium didn't want it. He goes, I think there's a crazy cool opportunity to hire an FPV drone flyer like in this video to capture a high-flying jump or jumps of mine through the table of any crazy stunt. Just another cool way to capture a frog splash that has never been done before, creatively pushing media boundaries. Like, that's pretty cool that, like, he thought of that.
That's dope.
And
that's cool because you know what? He's like, not only is he like, the guy's a maverick, bro. And that's his like name, right? Like the Maverick Logan Paul or whatever. He literally is like a maverick, bro. He's say what you want about that guy, but the millions and millions of followers that he has, the podcast he has is very popular. And he's actually not just going there and performing in the ring. He actually has ideas on how to kind of like elevate things as far as like social media. And as far as like, you just read that whole thing about camera work and just coming up with a new idea. Like, who would have thought of that?
He's invested.
You know what I mean? Like, they never would have, I don't think they ever would have thought of doing anything like that. Then he just came up with that on his own and like got it implemented and pulled it off. And it looks fucking really cool. Like, you gotta give him credit, man. He's a big asset for them. Whatever they're paying him, it's well worth it, dude.
So I would watch that first. But Cody, in my opinion, 2 for 2 in title defenses. Like, as far as good matches, like this was really good. Him and AJ was really good.
So it wasn't like title for title. It was just
no. So the way they got away with it, which I thought was clever, in my opinion, was the first time they interacted, Cody was like, yes, and it was gonna be, and everyone was like, all right, cool. Cody's going to take it off him and then vacate it. Cody would become a Grand Slam champion by winning the US title. So it seemed obvious there. But what happened is during the contract signing, Logan had his people reword the contract that it was only for the WWE.
Oh, okay.
So
at least they actually took the effort to explain it like in storyline. You know what I mean?
So he
That's cool.
tactics, and then you wait till you see the interaction with him and Michael Cole during the match. Because during the press show before King and Queen of the Ring, Logan Paul gave his brass knuckles that he always uses to Michael Cole, so he wouldn't use them. So, and then they interact during the match, and it's actually pretty fun. But yeah, really good match. Honestly,
actually would have been kind of cool for Cody to win that title. You would think like that championship is like tailor made, especially like the colors that he wears.
Yeah,
American Nightmare. Like that would have been cool to see him hold it up 2 belts. But I think we've had our fill of Cody. People running around with multiple belts and all that shit. And I think we can hold up on that.
And I think it was not this past week, the week before on SmackDown, Logan Paul and LA Knight walked by each other and had a stare. So that's going to happen at SummerSlam. Now it seems very obvious. Yeah, so good show, dude. Definitely recommend you.
Hey, quick question. Where's Andrade?
They did vignettes for him actually on SmackDown again. Because he got drafted to SmackDown, but that's been going on for like a month and a half. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I really don't know. Like I don't know if it's one of I don't know. I think I could see him going after LA Knight when LA Knight wins the US title. I think that'd be a decent feud.
Andrade versus anybody would be fantastic because he's dope.
Yeah, but. Now we can switch to the AEW side of things and talk about tonight, something we haven't seen yet. But yeah, AEW, I don't know, man. You know me. I'm positive, Nick. I stay away from all the bullshit.
Right.
Apparently, like, a lot of people are saying the product hasn't been what it hasn't been, blah, blah, blah. Same with WWE as well. But I don't know, man. I'll be the judge. Like I said, Dynamite wasn't the greatest thing on Wednesday, but when you're doing 52 shows a year, you're not going to hit a home run 52 weeks of the year.
Right.
You're just not. And I'm a realist to that. But we all know when it comes time at Sunday at 8 p.m. to put on an AEW pay-per-view, you're going to like the show.
Yeah.
You know, you're just going to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even I think it was Double or Nothing last year. We said it was a good show, but it was their worst pay-per-view, but still a good show.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. But in the
I just honestly, bro. And again, I don't want to be the negative guy, so let me try to focus on the things that I do like that I have seen in the past couple of weeks. I caught clips and stuff like that, and then yesterday was my first time watching an actual full show. I will say I really like this Samoa Joe Hook Shibata thing. I like that.
Me too.
I like that a lot because Joe is kind of like for real. Joe's actually saying what I'm thinking, which is why I like it. Because Joe's just showing up in post interviews like, "What the fuck are y'all doing? Like, what is this shit? What are you playing around with Jericho for? Why are you? What did he call Shibata? Speak and spell?" He's like, "What are y'all doing? Like, you're supposed to. Y'all are killers. Like, you should be out there killing. And if Joe's gonna make a faction." And have like Hook and Shibata in it, I'm all for that, bro. Go after the trios titles, please. Do something with those trios titles.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, every week, like when I see Bullet Club Gold, or they're not even Bullet Club Gold anymore. Now they're just Bang Bang Gang, which I don't like that. I prefer Bullet Club Gold, but now they're carrying the Acclaims titles and the ROH titles and the original trios titles. Like they're carrying 3 sets of belts.
Dumb.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, this shit is goofy. Like,
sorry to be negative. Did you see the clip from Dynamite with the fan got caught on the loud mic thing?
No.
I'll send it to you. But Jay White, I believe it was Jay White, was doing the promo, and it was not it. And some fan got caught on the hot mic saying, "Who wrote this shit?"
Oh shit!
I have to try to find it real quick while you speak.
Hilarious. But yeah, man, just again, I like the Joe thing. I like Swerve as a champion. He looks tremendous with that title. I feel like, and it's hard because when you have your shows and you're going from town to town or whatever, you want to showcase the people who are getting the biggest pops and the most popular people. I get that. But it's like I haven't watched in a month, and I tuned in yesterday and it's the same shit. This Orange Cassidy and Trent shit is still going. Bullet Club Gold, they have the trios titles. They're still not really doing much with it. I mean, I get they're having a match with Death Triangle. I'm assuming that they're not gonna take the titles off of them now. So I don't know what's going on. I could be wrong, and I wouldn't mind Death Triangle being trios champions again because I love that group.
Yeah, same.
That group and it's like Pac lost last pay-per-view. Like you're gonna put him on another pay-per-view and have him lose again. Like, come on, bro. Pac needs to be winning. He needs to be one of your upper echelon people, especially right now. The biggest thing I feel about AEW is like all their important people are not on the show anymore. Like no Adam Cole, no Kenny Omega, no MJF. Like
rumors, I spoke of that. Rumors he might be back by Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but like he's not there now. You know what I mean? Like and that's where I think the product is suffering. Like you don't have your.
You kind of have to go. I hate saying this because it's the worst person to say, but the CM Punk approach, where he's on TV still, kind of.
Yeah, and like I mean, last night was cool. Did you see Tanahashi showed up last night? That was fucking dope.
I only saw it from Tony Khan's Instagram story, but if you check your phone, dope. I just sent you the clip. It's only 10 seconds if you want to watch it. Quick.
Nice.
It is funny, in my opinion.
But yeah, just I was going to talk about the positive things I liked, and I ended up talking a little bit negative, which is not what I wanted to do. But
the first match is positive in my opinion. So if you want to watch that video, and then we'll get into the first match, I want to talk about.
So make you care. So we just gave you exactly what you asked for. You see, as the catalyst,
wow. I feel bad for Jay White because, like, I mean, the guy's got 3 sets of belts. So, I mean, say what you want about these belts, whether they mean something or not. The guy's got 3 championships. I know it's kind of a joke because they unified the belts on 2 different, different promotions. You unified a pair of trios belts, like. Doesn't really make sense. They're still walking around with the Acclaim's pink belts. Why are you walking around with those belts?
I think they're ugly too.
They're terrible. I get what they did with that in the beginning. I was like, okay, cool. They have their own belts. That's fine. But they're the only ones who should be carrying those belts if they're going to do that. Like, especially because the AEW trios belts look so nice.
Yeah.
Like you didn't really need to change anything, and they were new. Like, you didn't need to introduce another new pair of belts. But regardless, Jay White is like, dude, he's a huge star. Like, people who didn't watch New Japan and all that, and again, I'm not the most well versed on New Japan, but definitely with Jay White, I am a little bit more. He's a huge star, bro. He could be like the biggest heel in your company or the biggest babyface. He could be either one. And like, he's bogged down in this group shit. And like, I don't get it. Like, I guess, you know, tonight they're gonna have a banger match. You know that match is gonna bang.
Oh yeah, match is gonna be great.
It's gonna bang. But like, come on, bro. Where's the direction for this dude?
It's gonna bang.
Yeah, you see what I did there unintentionally.
But the first match we got pre-show. I think there's only one pre-show match according to this.
Right.
Two women we love, Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo.
They're on the pre-show?
Yeah, it's the pre-show match.
Oh, because that's not even the match I thought about, because there's another pre-show match I heard last night. It's
This site did an update, but on Bleacher Report's website.
It's shit, who is it? It's
Let me try to find it. Let me look on it. Oh, here. Oh, no, this is.
I think it was a trios match that I heard last night. I think it's
Well, this is from
Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh versus somebody. I think that's what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That one's not showing anything. A lot of sites aren't showing the card.
Shit, I gotta buy this pay-per-view, bro. Now that I think about it, I haven't even bought it yet.
I know, same. At least we ain't spending money. You know what I mean?
$20, baby.
Yeah,
that is no problem for me.
Yeah,
I am with that 100%.
But yeah, I think I gotta take this, right? I don't think she's won on pay-per-view yet, or am I wrong?
Yes, I would think Thunder Rosa is gonna win that match. Like,
Yeah,
I don't see why you beat Thunder Rosa right now unless you're gonna elevate Deonna into something.
well, look at this. The Italian's picking the other Italian, and the Hispanic man picking the Hispanic woman.
Don't get me wrong. I
I
love
know you love
Deonna Purrazzo. I love me some Deonna Purrazzo, but you know,
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I love both. But yeah, I think this is going to be good.
now it's really bothering me. I'm trying to figure out what that other.
Yeah, because
I could have sworn it was. I think it was Jeff Jarrett and Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal versus another trio, and I can't for the life of me think about what it is. But
while you look for that, next, I don't know how I feel about this one. The international title, Roderick Strong defending against Will Ospreay.
that match is going to be fucking tremendous, bro.
Yeah.
So they showed the promo last night with Will Ospreay all bloody and shit. You saw that, right?
Yeah, that I saw on Twitter.
Okay, but I saw that the other day after, I guess, Dynamite. They posted it after Dynamite was over, and I was like, why don't they fucking show these on TV? And then they went and they showed it this yesterday on TV. So, but when I saw that on Wednesday, I was like, oh, I'm buying this fucking show. I don't care. Because I hadn't been watching anything, and I saw that promo, and I was like, I'm buying this fucking show. Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay? That match is going to be tremendous. That's going to be fucking tremendous.
I'm just torn. I really thought Ospreay. Now, granted, they still have like 3 months, but I thought he'd be fighting for the world title at All In.
You don't have to rush it, though. You don't have to rush it. Put the international title on him. Let him have a run with that title. I think it's okay. Like, at first, I was like, nah, this ain't it, because now eventually, he's going to have to drop that belt, which means he's going to have to take an L at some point to lose that belt to go on to the next thing. So I wasn't a fan of that. But you know what? That belt's very, like, it's a beautiful belt, bro.
Oh, beautiful belt, especially when it's not in a backpack.
And if he's going to do the thing where, like, because, when he won the United States, the New Japan United States Championship, he turned that shit into the British Championship when he put the British flag on it.
Yeah.
If he's going to do some shit like that with that belt and redesign it and put, like, the British flag on it and defend it, bro, let's go. Like, I'm good with that. I'm so good with that.
So as we were saying, both of us were saying for months, it was going to be him and Swerve it All In. Say Ospreay win. Well, not say. Ospreay's going to win tonight. And he doesn't go in the main event, say, at All In. Who faces Swerve?
Yeah, that's the thing. They have time to
Because Kenny Omega won't be back by then,
Oh
right?
my God, I would love. Oh my God, Kenny.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been asking for Kenny Omega versus Swerve, bro.
Right, but Kenny, I know he just had surgery, so I doubt he'll be back.
I don't think so.
MJF, right, would be the only.
Maybe MJF.
Or
Can
Edge.
you imagine a feud with a heel MJF and a fucking face Swerve, or even vice versa? Just the two, bro. We need MJF back, bro. Like he needs to come back.
Unless they go the Adam Copeland route. I know he's TNT champion now.
Well, we're gonna talk about him.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about him later because there's something going on there. I found the other match on the pre-show. It's the Acclaimed Daddy Ass versus Cage of Agony, which is the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. So that's on the pre-show also.
Good. So we're both going Ospreay here, obviously.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Now,
He's winning that title tonight.
Now, where do you think they put that match? Because they already are saying a triple main event.
I would assume. Let's see what we got here. So we got this, we got that, we got that. Anarchy in the Arena. I'm assuming it's going to close the show.
I don't like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should open the show.
What I would do, honestly, what I would do is looking at this card. What I would do is have either they open the show with Roderick Strong and Ospreay, just to, because the crowd's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, that's why I say you open.
What the hell is going on in there? Either they open the show or it's one of like the last three matches, which I don't know how they would do that, because for me, Anarchy in the Arena, I guess it's gonna close the show, and then you're gonna have your title match before that,
and then Mercedes.
And then I would do the women's title directly before that. So you kind of already have those three slots filled. So I mean,
that's why I say you open.
Yeah, you might want to open the show with that.
Yeah. And then next, the World Trios, as we were talking about, Bang Bang Gang versus
Why is Jericho on this show? You don't need this match here, bro. I don't mean to interrupt you, bro, but
no, you're fine.
I'm looking at it on AEW site, and it's like, I love Shibata. Unless they're gonna do something with Samoa Joe, where he takes the two of them and does something and makes a faction with the two of them, and they're gonna do that on this show. I'm cool. But this fucking match doesn't need to be on the show. Nobody gives a fuck about this championship. It's not sanctioned belt. It's not. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So we can skip that one when it comes up. We've already talked about that match.
Yeah. And I think Jericho wins, by the way.
Yeah, he's gonna retain.
Yeah. So there was our match on that. But World Trios, we kind of briefly spoke about it. I think we both want Death Triangle, but I think we're both picking Bang Bang Gang, right?
Yeah, I would think that they're gonna retain and just keep this thing going with that. But then I don't know, man. They really need to build the trios back up, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of trios besides these two. I mean, who else is there? They broke up the Best Friends group, so those guys are not. And then who else is there? What other trios are there? The House of Black, and that's it. There's no more trios, so they need to do a better job of building that shit back up. I know you got Top Flight and Mario Andretti, as I like to call him, Action Andretti. You got them, but that's it, dude. And Blackpool.
Yep.
Which they don't even do trio shit anymore.
Nah, they kind of. So next, I know they had a breakup, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it really much since. This is one of the things I'm off on. From what you've read or whatever, maybe you know more. Has this been good enough like that this should be on the show? Like, I think it'll be a good match, but is this one of them that, like, it should be on the card?
I mean, just because they've put a lot of time into it, I've seen actually most of this stuff, like, from clips and what I've watched. And they're doing, like, a good job of, like, getting Trent to be, like, a scumbag type character who's betrayed his friends and whatever. Chucky, I don't know if I'm sure you saw, he's pretty much got a real injury. He's pretty much retired at this point. So Best Friends are pretty much over. And, you know, they've been going at each other at every show. So it's been built properly to be on the show, but like I don't really give a shit about this match. Like,
Just the way, yeah, I feel it.
I mean, I just don't care. Like, it's not. I'm not invested in that story like that. I'm sure that there's plenty of Orange Cassidy fans and Best Friends fans who probably are, and that's fine. I'm just not. So, most likely when this match comes on, depending on when it comes on, I'll be taking a snack break or a bathroom break or taking my dog out. One of those things.
Yeah, I don't know. So I feel you. I'm going to listen to you more because, like I said, I don't know too much. Then next, they got listed the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. So wait, this isn't for the title? Do you think it's just because New Japan probably doesn't want their title defended on?
So I'm assuming that's why. Last night, Don Callis and Moxley had like a promo in the ring, and it seemed like Don Callis was trying to persuade Moxley to join his group, and then he got attacked by Takeshita. So I thought that last night they were going to be like, you know what, let's make it for the title, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't do anything like that. All they did was play out an angle where Moxley got attacked. They put his arm in the chair, which actually was fucking hilarious. That there was actually 2 spots last night that were like one of those things where I was watching wrestling, and I was like, how would I explain this to somebody who doesn't watch wrestling?
Yeah, one of those.
Like, how would I make this make sense to this person who doesn't watch this show? So the first one was Takeshita attacked Moxley, grabbed a chair, slid the chair into the ring, put his arm in the chair, right? So then Moxley's laying there with his arm in the chair. Takeshita slowly is climbing the top rope. Then he gets up there and he turns around. Then he poses to the crowd. And then he points down at Moxley. And then he jumps and stomps on the chair and with his arm in there. And Moxley's literally the whole time he's laying there like this with his arm in the fucking chair. And I'm watching. I'm like, bro, take your arm out of the chair. Like, you know what's going to happen. Take your fucking arm out of there. And I'm like thinking to myself, how would I explain this to somebody who doesn't watch? Because they're going to be like, why is his arm still in there? That was one spot. And another spot that was funny, which was Tanahashi. Tanahashi climbed the top rope and he couldn't get his footing. So he was bent. You know how they get up on the top rope and they're like bent over at the top rope trying to like adjust their feet? Bro, he was up there forever for the finish of the match. And what's the name was laying there in the ring to take the who was it that took the pin? It was shit. I forget. But he was just laying there like, oh, it was what you call it from the Righteous, Vincent. He was just laying there forever, just staring up at the sky, waiting for this guy to do his frog splash. And he was bent over on the rope like this, like adjusting and trying to get his foot adjusted. And then he did the frog. I was like, bro, why would you lay there? At that point, just roll out of the way, let him miss, and then reset it up. Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
So this match seems very obvious, right? Moxley's probably going to win.
I mean, I would think that Takeshi's going to win since it's an
eliminator match. Yeah.
Bro, I would put the fucking belt on Takeshi, bro. Put it on Konosuke Takeshi and let him go to fucking New Japan and defend that shit, bro. Yeah. Why not? Why not, bro? This kid, bro, this guy, like, he's so talented.
He is very
scary, bro. He reminds me of that dude back in the day. Remember, you know who Bolo Young is? So Bolo Young was the guy. He was in Enter the Dragon. He was in Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He played.
Yes, actually,
that big fucking scary dude with the headband. Yeah, he reminds me of him. And it's like, bro, you put this guy in these matches, and then he's constantly losing. Bro, give him a belt. Like, if anybody deserves to have a belt right now to just build him up more, it should be him. Like,
so do you think he wins and then
I think it's going to be some nefarious means. I'm feeling like he's going to win this match just to set up the fact that he has a title shot now against Moxley, and they'll probably do it at one of the New Japan shows. And I say, fuck it, put the fucking belt on him, bro. I say put the belt on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say put the belt on him and let him go to New Japan and do his thing. He can come back. He can be on TV. Let him do it, bro.
Next, Toni Storm will be defending her AEW's Women's Championship against Serena Deeb.
I can't wait for this match, bro.
This will be a good one.
I can't wait for this match, bro. Love Serena Deeb. I keep pointing in the wrong side. It's one of my Hall of Famers right there. I love her so much. She's the best. She's a professor. She's the woman of 1,000 holes. I should have wore her shirt today. I was in a rush. She's the best. She's not gonna win. But the match is gonna be the shit. I'm really hoping that they give them time to have a great match. Whatever. If I was Tony, I'd be like, hey, I don't know how they plot the matches out time-wise, but I'd talk to them, sit them down and be like, how much time do you guys feel you need to tell the story you want to tell? 12 minutes, 14 minutes? Do you want to go shorter? You want to go long? Whatever that number is. Okay. You got 13 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever it is. 15, whatever the time is. Okay. You have that block of time. It's yours. I'll cut somewhere else. Cut from the fucking Jericho match. Who the fuck wants to see that match anyway, bro? Cut from that match. And give these women time to do their thing, bro. Just give them the time to do their thing. Because this match is gonna be a shit. I love how they look at. I'm looking at the poster. I love how they do this. Toni Storm's in black and white.
I know. Did you see the photo online?
Yeah,
of all the girls hanging
that was
out?
hilarious.
That was funny.
That was so cool. Like I love how they're keeping that going, man. It's great. I'm looking forward to that match, man. I love Serena Deeb.
So I'll admit, I'm going with Tony. But next match is honestly the match I'm the most excited for. The TNT Championship in a barbed wire steel cage match. Wow. Adam Copeland, Edge, however you want to, against Malachi.
A lot of blood everywhere.
Yes, after the Brood bloodbath Malachi got on fucking Wednesday.
For real.
I'm assuming Adam Copeland is going to do some crazy entrance because I don't think he can do the Brood song because I believe WWE trademarked that.
Oh, okay. I was going to say sometimes those songs from back then, bro, they're like free use sometimes.
No, I think what was it? It was either I think it was in 2021 when he was feuding with Seth when he used it for the first time. I think Gangrel was set to make an appearance on AEW, and he was going to use that song, and then Edge and them did it first.
I wonder if we see Gangrel tonight.
That wouldn't shock me. It's in Vegas too, isn't he? Like from there?
Yeah, I think he lives there.
Yeah, so that wouldn't shock me. Maybe he won't like make the. They're going to do Edge, Adam, whatever. He's going to get some sort of entrance tonight. But you think Malachi Black takes it off him?
Hold on. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. So I thought I was reading what I read here was that Gangrel got the trademark for the Brood song, but he didn't. He got the trademark for Gangrel, the character. So he got the thing for that. So I was trying to see if that shit was trademarked, the song.
So I'll keep it real. I don't care who wins, but I want Malachi Black to win.
So here's the thing. A lot of people are saying that because of I don't know if you got to see the promo last night that Edge did.
No.
Did you see it? Okay.
I
well,
from last night.
Edge is turning evil.
Okay.
And it seems like I don't know verbatim what he said, but he definitely was like, what if your House of Black comes to my side? So he's basically essentially saying like, what if I take over the House of Black? If you lose the match, what if they decide to come with me? So he's playing that little thing in there, and the promo that he cut, it was like he was in black, and it looked like the Judgment Day vignettes that he used to do. Like it looked just like that.
So you think he's turning white?
I think that he is going to again. Some people are saying that this might be Malachi's swan song. Like this might be his swan song match.
His contract's already up.
I think so. That's what the streets are saying, as the kids say.
Actually, it could be because I remember he debuted against Cody in 2021. And they usually do 3-year deals, do they not? Yeah. And not to be that guy, but
he was hurt for a while, so
that's what I'm saying.
Kind of matches up.
Yeah. So and then he's also one of them. Like I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but kind of like an Andrade that it seems like when it's up, he's bouncing.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, I'm not gonna blame the guy, bro. His wife's over there
Yeah, that's why I say yeah. And then like, and then also,
there.
and not to also be that guy, but the guy who booked him best in his career is the booker now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he'd go there and be WWE champion or anything like that. I'm not.
And you know what's funny too? When they released him, bro, like he was doing those fucking really cool black and white promos with like the animated shit in the background. Like as he was telling the story, like they had the animation behind him on the screen in black and white, and it was like that stop motion.
Yeah.
Like that shit was cool. And then they fucking released him.
Vince.
Like while he was doing those, and I was like, what's going on?
I
So
only
they literally picked that right back up.
Before we get back into the match, I only have one. If he goes back, he needs his NXT theme song.
I ain't gonna happen, but Def Rebel is gonna give him some fucked up theme.
Because
Def Rebel's gonna give him some theme, and it's gonna be like you're gonna hear like crows and sort of flapping or some shit, and you're gonna hear Alistair Black, and then music is gonna start because all their fucking songs start like that. All their songs are the same shit. It says the name of the person, and then the song starts. I'm like, bro,
tell me his NXT song wasn't a banger.
No, that shit was dope. That's that Code Orange. They wrote that song. So, I mean, maybe because that's not actually a CFO song. That's a Code Orange song. That's a band that they made that song.
They can get that. But anyway, back to the company at hand. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, barbed wire, steel cage. Jesus.
Yeah. So that's why I said I'm the most excited for this match. This is going to get a lot of time because Edge gets a lot of time in his matches.
Yeah.
And obviously the stipulation, but not just the title, barbed wire, steel cage. You're not going to have that for 10 minutes. Lou, I hate to say this because you're an East Coast guy. Luckily, I'm West Coast. This starts at 5. Tony, from experience from being in Vegas at Double or Nothing and Full Gear, this is going to go long, which I don't care. I don't care because it's going to be a great show.
I'm going to take a nap probably like at 6 to 7:30, and I'll get up and I'm going to take a nap, bro.
But
I woke up this morning. I went straight to the gym. I came back. I did a mile walk. I came back here. So I'm going to have to take a nap. If not, I'm fucked. I'm going to pass out at some point during this show.
The best is, this is comedy for me. Obviously, you probably wake up like, yo, what the fuck? When we text during the shows and then you stop answering.
When I stop replying, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he fell asleep.
It's a wrap.
But
with the sheet over me, already unconscious.
Yeah. Next. So who do you got? You got Adam Copeland as well?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Malachi Black.
Malachi. I said it.
I kind of want to see him win and get a singles title run. Because, you know, every time like somebody pops up with a rumor, Malachi usually responds to them shits because he hates that shit.
He does.
So usually he'll post and be like, there's no truth to that whatsoever. But it's just been kind of like rumbling. So I don't know if it's true or not. But just the fact that I could see like, I mean, I'm going to pick Malachi, but I can see like the House of Black turning on him, siding with Edge, Adam.
I think that's going to be the hardest one to ever break.
Yeah. And then, you know, now you can do like the, I don't know, Copeland, the House of Copeland or whatever the hell you're going to do. And you can kind of revamp things and throw Julia in there. And now you got another trio and, you know, maybe they can push that thing forward, put the trios titles on them too. I don't know. But
yeah.
I'm
all about it.
Or you can give Malachi a singles title finally, and now let him go on and become a star. Because really, Edge is already a star. You really don't need to elevate Edge to. Why do I, bro? I keep saying
you'll
Edge.
Never break that one. I promise you.
It's never gonna happen. But I'm gonna go with Malachi just because I love him and I want him to win, and I don't want him to leave.
Now we're going into our triple main events. So first, this one I could see us talking about because I got a lot to ask you. TBS Championship, Willow Nightingale defending against Mercedes Moné. Now, I have been watching actively. Streets are saying Willow's been cooking Mercedes on the mic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
and easily.
And people are saying this could be because Tony brought Mercedes in way too early without having a match, and she just all of a sudden gets a match when there's the rankings thing and all this, which I'll never discredit Tony for bringing in her the way he did. Boston, they were in Boston, made sure. You can never discredit that because I would have done the same thing. But is it just Mercedes isn't a good face? Is it the CEO isn't working? Is Willow just, I think she has been. I think she's just that over with the AEW fan base. Because Mercedes, I think, is going to win. There's no world she loses tonight. So what do you think? Is it just Willow's a better promo? Like, what do you think's the disconnect with this match?
Well, I think they're a little confused as to so there's a couple lingering things here. So Chris Statlander got attacked by somebody like 2 months ago. They never paid that off. They never explained who attacked her. They never brought it up again. So I watched Dynamite. I don't think whatever the contract signing happened, I think it was not last Wednesday, the Wednesday before. So like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
they had a sit down contract signing, and Mercedes got completely cooked by Willow. And I mean, easily, because Willow's great on the mic. Here's the thing. Willow is like, I could never see Willow as a heel. They tried to kind of tease it a couple weeks ago with her little dark circle makeup and shit. I was like, I'm not buying this shit. You're not. There's no way. I'm never gonna boo you. Like, I'm never booing Willow Nightingale. It's never gonna happen. She like exudes positivity, and that's what she should always be. There's some people who should always be faces. John Cena, Willow Nightingale.
Cody.
I actually think Austin Theory would be a gigantic baby face if they could get him out of the shit that he's in. But anyway, she's never going to be a heel to me. I can't see it. So Mercedes, to me, is the opposite. That woman is a natural heel. Like, I think she fits perfectly in that space where she's a bad guy. She's just a bitch. She's stuck up. She thinks she's better than everybody, and that should be her. That should be her wheelhouse.
Her character is a heel. She's saying she's a CEO.
Right. Like, so they've kind of like teased a little bit of heelish activity with her, but they haven't fully pulled the trigger. So for me, what would be the natural finish tonight is for her to win in a heelish way, either with some brass knuck action or pulling one of those turnbuckle thingies, and she hits her head on there, and she, whatever finish that they want to do, but it should be as a heel. Because then you kind of keep Willow a little protected, and she finally makes the heel turn, and now she can go off and continue to do this heel shit. Because her coming out and taking 10 minutes to walk to the ring with this shit, it's not doing it for me, bro. It's not. I hate it. So that's something like very heelish. And I think they've been teasing those little things, and they're probably tonight would be a good time to put that to fruition. Then that way she wins, and you're not like, okay, well, she's a babyface and she beat Willow in her first match after like a year. That really doesn't make sense. That kind of hurts Willow, because Willow's out there grinding every day, and she just lost to somebody who hasn't wrestled in a year. Like, doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. That was a lot to throw out there, but I do agree with you that Mercedes is, whatever happens, she's winning. She's not losing her first match.
I don't know. I love Mercedes. So this ain't a hate thing. I just felt in the 2 months she's been there, I'm at the point, and I think she can turn it around. So I'm not saying she's dead in the water, but I don't need to watch Dynamite now because of Mercedes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. There are other people I want to see. Like, she's not the reason I like in seeing her and what she does, but she's not the reason I want to put on Dynamite.
Right.
This next person is the AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland, is defending against Christian Cage. We don't need to say who we think is going to win. We obviously know Swerve's going to win, but dude, Swerve's just been on a roll. Great baby face, like you kind of alluded to earlier. I really wish they would present him better. Kind of sucks his first defense is probably not going to be in the main event. It does suck, but hopefully after this match, the Anarchy thing, like it's just a one-off. Hey, he's back like in the main. But Swerve's been delivering. I think Christian's a perfect first opponent because he is just such a dastardly heel. Everything he does. You could argue when Christian, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and tell me your thoughts on this. So do you remember when Christian signed? It was like January of 21 or February, right after his Royal Rumble like comeback thing, like in the COVID era. When Christian first signed and they hyped up his debut, like, we have this, and then Christian came out.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other then, but no one was really like, oh my God, it's Christian.
Yeah.
So from when he first debuted to now is insane.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I remember I was at the theater for that pay-per-view because he debuted on a pay-per-view. And they were like, we have this great signing, this big fucking, oh my God. And everybody was speculating like who's going to be and blah, blah, blah. And they had all these names out there. Like Ospreay was one of those names. But they were like, no, he's under contract. Blah, blah, so nobody knew. Me personally, when they hit his music, it's like I threw my popcorn. I was like, oh my fucking God, it's Christian. Because that music, bro, that song. The other day I was working out and I was listening to a playlist I hadn't listened to in a while, and that theme was on there. And that shit started playing. And I was like, oh, let's go. That shit just took me to like another level of energy. I just started fucking pumping weights, dude. That theme is an absolute banger. So when I heard it in that debut, I marked out. Maybe some people were disappointed, but when I heard the theme, I was hyped.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I like it. I think they just amped up his debut.
Oh, yeah.
Too much.
Sure.
But what I'm getting at is his 3-year, and I know he re-signed. I think Tony said at one of the recent press conferences, like, insane. Like, you could argue this work might go down as, or will go down as, the best of his career.
And I think Tony just said something like that. He just said Christian's been like the one, like if not the best, one of the best signings we've ever had.
Yeah,
his work over the past 2 years is like it's been incredible. So
think about this. Since they made Dynamite a show, so not Moxley, right? Not signing Moxley, because you could argue he's probably their best signing, right?
Right.
You could argue Christian was the best signing.
Yeah.
You obviously Bryan Danielson, right? Will Ospreay will probably go down as 1-2, but it's just still too new. But for someone who's been there for a minute, you could argue Christian is going down as their best signing.
Yeah, that moment when he beat Kenny Omega for like the Impact titles.
Title, yeah.
What was that, on the first Rampage?
Yep.
Or yeah, because CM Punk opened the show and then that was like the main event, right? Yeah. That was, I mean, you still watch that shit. It's still like a tremendous fucking finish and like a moment. Like it's incredible.
Yep.
And just all the things that he went through, like being down with the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and kind of like where he's gone through all the stuff with Adam Copeland to where he's at now. Like now it's just, this is great. All the shit that he's doing, especially even his entrance.
Yeah.
When it's like father, commitment, and like all this stupid shit that pops up on his entrance now, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Now we go to the main event. Anarchy in the arena. So I'm going to speak on this in a second. You have the Elite, which is the Young Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry, going against Team AEW of Bryan Danielson, FTR, and Darby Allin. So first off, before I go on, not my rant, it's a good rant, before I start talking for a minute, I'd like to do a quick moment of silence for one of the Trash Boys' favorite men, Eddie Kingston, getting injured.
Oh, yeah.
So with us at this time, take a brief moment of silence. Moment has had.
Light up your Newports.
Yep, he's going to be out for a minute.
Yeah. I wonder, did they say anything about the title? What he's doing? Did they mention anything about?
I don't think they addressed that. Yeah, I don't think they. I'm assuming just.
Not that New Japan needs to strip him for that title. They have plenty of fucking titles out there that they could do something with.
Yeah, so I think they're just gonna strip it, if I had to guess, off him.
Put that shit on Gabe Kidd.
But yes, so 2 years ago, I had the privilege of seeing the Anarchy in the Arena match. The one I saw was Blackpool Combat Club against, who was it? Eddie Kingston, the Bucks, I think maybe. It's the one when Eddie came out with the gas can all bloody,
full of it.
Jericho was in it.
It had to be the Inner Circle.
Yeah, I think it was the Inner Circle versus the Blackpool Combat Club with Eddie. I think that's what it was. And then Moxley came out, and I'll never forget, Justin Roberts started it off, and that's when I knew he's like, this is going to be a shit show. Like, he said something like that on the mic. And then Wild Thing played for like 12 minutes. And the place went – I still put that in my top 5. That and the Swerve match with Hangman recently I saw Full Gear. Top 5 coolest matches I've seen live. Because the crowd went nuts. I saw the videos. I was like 10 feet away from Bryan Danielson and Jericho just beating the shit. Insane. So, and if this is going to main event and the history these matches have, they're going to do some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Don't get me wrong. I want Swerve to main event, but this is going to be a great main event.
So, I'm dumb. I said, did they announce who's replacing? And it's Darby. Now, that's the only thing I worry about with Darby is, does he have full range of motion with his foot? Is he going to re-break his foot trying to do some crazy shit?
Yeah, Darby's going to do some wild shit. No one's going to talk him out of it. I want to say, I know no one who's probably going live is going to watch this by the time this gets out in like the next 30 minutes. We'll probably post it, or 45 minutes, hour, or whatever. They're going to have a blast watching this. Love it for the crowd tonight. This is going to be madness, but you got to think the Elite takes this, right? Or else this kind of looks dumb. Like the heels have to win this.
I would think so. I would go with them, yeah.
I would think so too. Dude, you can't even talk about what's going to happen in the match because Eddie Kingston put himself damn near on fire, or he tried lighting someone on fire. I forgot who it was. Jericho, maybe? I'm assuming Jericho.
That's when Jericho was throwing fire bombs on people's faces and shit.
Yeah, and then I think it was last year's. Was it last year's when the Young Bucks had thumbtacks on their shoes and were kicking people?
With that explosion.
Yeah, so I'm biased. The one I saw I think was the best because it was the first one in an actual arena. The other ones were in the COVID era. Remember, they ended up, Matt Hardy was in the pool delete.
That's one thing, we shit on Matt Hardy all the time, but that was one of the most, one of the biggest laughs I ever had was when they were dunking Matt Hardy in the water, and every time he was a different Matt Hardy
version of Matt
he was
Hardy.
Underwater doing the version 1, then he dunked him again, and he was doing the delete under the water.
Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy ran over Sammy Guevara with the golf cart.
Yeah.
So this is going to provide some insane moments.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I guess it's going to close the show.
It has to, because this is what I want to say. Speaking from experience of seeing one of these live, it's going to suck the energy out of the arena.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I'm pretty sure, I could be so wrong, but I believe after that match was Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin, and
nobody gave a fuck.
No one gave a fuck.
And that match was actually good, but nobody gave a shit.
No, because we were drained. Because I think they did that. Then I think they did Kyle and Darby, and then I think it was Punk and Hangman in the main event after that. But yeah, dude, as Justin Roberts says, this is madness shit show. The question I have for you before we get ready to close out. What's a wild prediction of something that's going to happen in this match? Is someone jumping off a flaming ladder? What's your wildest imagination that you think is going to happen?
So the fact that this guy came out with a goddamn flamethrower, I would imagine that fire is going to be involved somewhere on this show. I'm not the biggest fan of that shit because that can go very wrong.
Very quickly.
Even those flaming table spots, to me, it's too much. And depending on the ordinance of the building or whatever. But I'm going to say Darby's involved, bro.
Yeah.
Darby's involved in this match. He's going to jump off of something very high. And it's going to be really dangerous. I was going to say something, and then I'm like, wait a minute. He already did that when he fucking fell through the planes of glass.
Yeah, with Sting's
match. Fuck, man. I predict Darby Allin's going to do something fucking insane. And that isn't even a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Mine's going to be, I think they fight in the actual casino because they're not at T-Mobile Arena anymore. They're back at MGM.
Yeah.
I think they fight in the no shit casino. Someone's head's going to get hit off a slot machine or something.
That would be dope.
It's nothing wild, right? But I think something I could see that spot happen. Because when I went, it was at the T-Mobile Arena, which isn't connected to a casino. It's just its own arena.
Yeah.
But that's what I think happens.
It's funny because this was an impromptu thing. I thought I was going to be doing something at this time, and I ended up not.
Yeah, you saved the show. We would have lost all 95 subscribers.
Yeah. When Nick hit me up, he's like, hey, well, I was like, did you get the info? He's like, yo, jump on. I'm like, yeah, let me jump on. And it's funny because I knew the show was tonight, and I was like, yeah, it's a pay-per-view tonight, whatever. But now that we've actually gone through the card, now I'm actually hyped to watch the show because we just went through that card. And aside from maybe the Jericho match, which is funny because I'll say that about the Jericho match, and then I'll watch the match, and I'm like, okay, the match wasn't bad. It was a good match. You know what I mean? And it happens every time. So even with that being said, I'm like, okay, fuck, the show's on tonight. I'm beginning, as soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna buy it, set everything up, and be good to go. So now I'm actually hyped to watch the show, which is great. Very exciting.
With that being said, it's about 4.5 hours, a little over 4.5 hours till the main card starts. So we'd like to get out of here so we can maybe get it out here. Maybe people will listen beforehand. And if not, if you decide to listen after the show, you can let us know what you thought of our predictions. But Lou, since I'm actually the recorder this time, first time since we've been on this thing, I'm going to let you plug everything before I take us home.
All right, guys. Well, you already know. It's Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. Thanking you so much for joining us on another episode of Wrestling is Trash. I don't even know what episode this is. What episode is this?
183.
183. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. As always, you can follow us on YouTube at Wrestling is Trash. Follow us there. Hit the notification bell so you're always notified when we drop new episodes. You can follow us on Instagram at Wrestling is Trash. You can follow us on Twitter, X, at Wrestling Be Trash, and get up-to-date info on all of our content. Our store is live where you can get one of these bad boys here.
Very nice shirt.
Wrestling t-shirt, very comfortable, very loose fitting. Feels good. The logo is beautiful. It's nice and crisp. You can get one of your own. Wear it to a wrestling show and let these people know, hey, bro, calm down with the bullshit. Don't be like the dude who harassed Sky Blue. That's not what we do. We don't do that shit.
You just sit back and enjoy it.
We are wrestling fans. Just why would you be looking at Sky Blue and want to do anything other than watch Sky Blue wrestle? I don't understand that. But with that being said, we thank you all for joining us once again. And I will now pass it over to the trash boy numero uno to take us home. Got my finger. Where's my finger going? There it goes. There you go. Look, that made it work.
What did you just say?
I had to do it. I love it, and I'm in control of it today.
Get all the props in.
Yep, I had to do that now that I can actually do something about this. But yeah, thank you everyone, especially for dealing with me those 15 minutes before. I've done a solo episode before, but it was a little more planned. This time I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to talk about the shows and trying to record a show alone, which is where I give you a lot of credit because you have your own show. Without having something scripted, so I'm like, well, I don't want to do something for 15 minutes, but I don't want to go for an hour. So where to go with this? So thank you for joining me, Lou.
Yeah, those solo episodes are...
they're a little tough.
If you don't have PowerPoints, bro, it's tough.
Yeah, it's a little tough. But yes, thank you for watching. This will be on YouTube and on our audio. Lou already hit us there. So with that, hopefully everyone has a safe, healthy weekend. Enjoyed yesterday's show. Enjoyed tonight's show. And maybe we'll be back this upcoming Tuesday in a couple of days to talk about it. We'll have to see. But with that being said, everyone have a great day and enjoy wrestling.
Fuck bitches, lift weights.